InDesign has a feature called Multiplace, which will let you place several images at once by loading them into your cursor. Let's start with a new document. File, New Document. I'll use my letter 1 inch and simply check Landscape. So it becomes 11 by 8.5, and I'll click OK. I'll choose File, Place, and in your Chapter 2 folder, in the Multiplace folder, I have 9 files. They include images and even a text file. I'll click the first one, hold down Shift, and click the last one to get all of them in the list. And when I hit Open, you'll notice the number 9 in parentheses in my cursor. So there's the small paintbrush icon and then the blue number 9. If I click once, I get the first image and it shows me the number 8. If I undo that and click and drag, as I click and drag, I could see the percentage that I'm scaling it to. So I'll aim for 30%. I'm not even on my guides, but I wanted to point out that once you have one image placed, if my cursor gets close to the top of the previous box, it turns white. Here it's black. It's the tiny little arrow in the upper left corner. White, black. When I see the white, I can click and drag, and InDesign will let me know with the green guides up and down and left and right when I've matched the width and the height of the first image to the second image. I'll let go to place it. I'll look for the white cursor again, click and drag, and when all 3 match the width and the height, I can let go. Even moving down here, when I see white, black, white, as I click and drag, now all 4 of them match the width and height. This is a text file, and I still have 5 images loaded in the cursor, and I don't want to use this one. So I'll hit Escape to unload the cursor. Now I have 4 images in the cursor, and I want to skip this one. I'm not ready to use it yet. So I'll hit my right arrow key. Now in some cases you have to wiggle your mouse depending on your operating system and InDesign. If I don't see the next image in the queue, just move your mouse. Literally wiggle your mouse without clicking. I'll look for the white, click and drag, and again when I match the width and the height, they perfectly line up. In this case, I matched the width only because the cropping dimensions on this photo were different. And with this last image, I'm going to hit Escape to unload the last 2, so I have 6 images. If I move this up to the guide, as I drag this next one close to it and start aligning my images, when I match the step distance from image 1 to image 2 and image 2 to image 3, you'll see green guides in between each photo. I could try that again with the 4th one. Just be careful as you're moving the images that you don't click the content grabber, the target in the dead center of the photo. That will move the picture inside the frame. You'll know you have the picture inside the frame if you see orange points. So I'll undo that. I'm going to click away, and I'll actually do Select All and hit Delete or Backspace to delete all of my images. So InDesign's Multiplace will place anything, any images, text, Illustrator files, PDFs, any format that InDesign can place can be poured in all at once. Now here's a super secret little known feature. If I choose Place again, and I select all 9 files by clicking once, shift-clicking on the last, and hitting Open, I want to fill my entire page. And as I start to click and drag, if I hit my up arrow key, still holding down my mouse, I've made this 2 columns. If I hit my right arrow key, now I've got 2 rows and 2 columns. I'll hit my right arrow key again, so I'm getting a total of 6 items, and my up arrow key again, and now I've got a grid of 9 items. So my left arrow key would remove columns, my up arrow key would add rows, or down arrow key to remove rows. So make sure you get 9 across, and the entire time I'm doing this, I'm just hitting my arrow keys, and I haven't let go of my mouse at all. When I fill my margins, now I can safely let go of my mouse, and it has placed all of the images. I can choose Object Fitting and Fill Frame Proportionally to fill every image in its sized frame. And you could also try Object Fitting Center Content, but it looks like they were already centered. I'll click away and click on this quote in the center and just move it down a bit visually. Click away one last time and switch to preview mode, and there you have it, a grid of images all placed at once by loading them into your cursor, and as you click and drag, hitting your up arrow key and your right arrow key to add more rows and columns. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Multiplace, which was added to InDesign CS3. This is immensely powerful for catalog work, directory work, or even newsletter work where you have a lot of different images that you may be placing at once.